The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You. Well, welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. Today is actually February 25th. Can you believe we got a few more days? We got an extra day this month. Will, what are you going to do with the extra day?
I'm going to work a little bit harder.
Okay. Wil Buchanan with, I'm going to get it right, Philantech3.
Yeah, Philantech3.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, for our audience, I know you've told me in the past, but for our audience, what does that mean? What is it?
Yeah, so it's a made-up word.
And thank you for the
You're
mug.
welcome. Yeah,
okay.
It's going to keep your drink warm all day
okay.
or cold. But yeah, it's a made-up word. It's philanthropy plus technology plus our three core values.
Okay.
And so the philanthropy part, we have two missions. One is we want to make the community a better place.
Yes.
We work with the Vanessa Behan
yes.
Nursery mostly, and then also the Union Gospel Mission. We've committed a portion of our quarterly proceeds to those,
oh, nice.
And we also
good organizations.
Oh, they're
too.
amazing. The stuff
yeah.
they do is so amazing. And then we also donate staff time, so we
okay.
pay our people to go work for them.
Yeah.
So
I think I might have told you when we talked that my very first part-time job in consulting, I've raised funds since I was 18,
yep.
so it's been 50-some years. But basically, I was hired by Washington Trust Bank to do a feasibility study and some other things to help set up Vanessa Behan. That was my very first client.
Thank you.
Going back, I want to say 30 years,
that's amazing.
35 years, something
they've
like that.
got an amazing history in the community. So.
Yes, they do. And just moved into a new facility.
Beautiful facility.
Yeah, I need to get out and see it.
It's amazing.
And then UGM, we have Phil and the others on all the time and love what they're doing.
They really do good
Those
work.
two organizations are really stepping up and helping a vulnerable part of our community.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And we just, for selfish reasons, to succeed as a business, we
yes.
need a healthy community.
Yes.
It's those two organizations that we feel are just really leading the charge on it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
And it's fun too. I know that Vanessa Behan, they mostly are funded by just people like you and I giving $5 or $10 a month. It really does add up.
Yeah. So tell me about your company and what you do.
Sure. So we provide responsive, security-focused IT services for small businesses.
Okay.
10 to 50 employees.
Okay. And why the 10 to 50?
What we found is that if businesses that are under 10, it's a whole different ball game. If you have under 10 employees, every day is a little bit more of a struggle. It just
every day is a
hard.
crisis.
It's hard.
Been there and am there right now. Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And then over 50. We tend to see companies that are larger than 50 just have their own IT staff. So,
sure.
So we've just decided to focus right in that niche and provide those IT services.
Yeah. So are you working primarily in the Spokane area or around the country?
Yeah,
or?
Spokane and Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long have you been doing this?
So 18 years.
Oh, just 18 years.
Yeah, we're just new, brand new.
Yeah,
so.
you're brand new.
Yeah.
Why did you get into this kind of business? What prompted you?
Oh, boy. I was so naive. I really did it because I thought it would be, I would have more.
Easy.
It would be easy.
Yeah.
I would have more freedom.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was so naive.
So do you have more freedom?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. At the end of the day, yes, I have more freedom.
I love it.
Yeah,
because we both know that it's 24/7, isn't it?
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And that's the other part of our philanthropy mission is that we provide small business consulting, financial consulting to small businesses that are just starting. Too many of our small businesses fail within the first 4 years.
Yes.
The statistic is just overwhelming.
Right.
We provide that free. We will find these people. We're not interested in helping them with their IT.
Right.
We want to help them get their numbers right.
Okay.
And so that's kind of my own personal
How about companies
mission on
that are in their 5th year?
Let's work.
Okay.
Let's work together, kid.
I can tell you it has been a challenge.
It is.
Because
no, it always is.
when we started this, it was the first question that that came up when we added, we were just doing audio for the first like year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years, we've been video.
Yeah.
We also do audio too, of course. But our questions often to our sales team, our marketing team, up until a year ago, was, "Oh, you're not on TV?"
Right.
Meaning broadcast.
Sure.
Okay. That world has changed. It isn't what it used to be.
So
okay?
true.
And so most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time now, the worst thing we hear is, "I've never watched you guys, but I've heard of you."
Right.
That's a big step. Okay. The fact is, many of our programs come in second or third in Spokane against the evening local news.
That's
That did not,
impressive.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
we had 400 and some views of our videos 2 years ago. Last year, over 700,000.
Yeah, that is
okay?
really
And
impressive.
so welcome to where things are going,
Yeah.
which is on the internet. Now,
Yeah.
we also produce a weekly program for Fox 28, but things are changing.
Yeah, they
and,
are.
and I think sometimes it just takes holding out long enough for that change to be well understood out there.
A lot of it too is, and this is just small business in general, is
Yeah.
having the right focus.
Yes.
And then focusing your energy on that, because one of the struggles of small business is we don't have a lot of resources.
Right, right.
And when we dilute those resources and spread them across a whole bunch of focus,
Yeah.
we really suffer. And so it sounds like you've done a good job of identifying a focus and then
Well, I've got a good
targeting
staff. That makes
resources.
the difference,
It does,
you know.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah,
So-
and it's been a learning process. My favorite line right now has been in the last 3 to 5, maybe 6 months is, "I wish I knew when I started what I know now." But literally,
Yes.
Will, there was no one to go ask about this because no one
Yeah.
was doing what we're doing.
Okay, so that one point is why we started our mission of helping small businesses,
Yeah.
because we had that same conversation as a leadership team. I wish
Yes.
I knew today what I didn't
Yeah.
know 10 years ago. And then it just kind of reached out and said, well, there's other companies that are struggling first, second year. What we learned just about cash flow crisis and watching numbers and what numbers are important.
Yep.
Those are things we want. We don't want other people to go through that. We shouldn't have to the small businesses shouldn't have to relearn that.
Yeah.
The nut's
kidding.
been cracked.
No kidding. Well, the luxury I've had, if you want to call it a luxury, is that I really retired about 6 or 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm not dependent, haven't paid myself, those kinds
Yeah.
of things. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
And in many cases, there are other TV, video, podcast companies around the country doing local programming like we do, but none of them do 18 to 20 different subjects.
Yeah, that's a lot.
From business to,
Yeah, you
know.
cover a lot of content.
Yeah, and in that case, we're the only company still in the country doing
Sure.
that. But we've been asked to replicate in like Boise and some other places, and then along came a time when we had to move last summer.
Yeah.
So all that gets pushed aside,
Yeah.
and we're now getting back, as I mentioned to our previous guest, Caleb. We activated finally our NorthIdahoTalks.com
Yeah.
URL, which goes to our page, but we'll have a special section soon for North Idaho because that's important to them.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing some Meet the Candidates over in North Idaho and the Kootenai County and so forth as we reach out. And as I said, we wanted to do that last spring, but
Yeah.
I spent 6 weeks looking at warehouses around town
Right.
for a studio, and here we are in a TV studio now. So
I think you bring up a good point. Just in moving, that was such a business disruption that it really put off your business plan.
It did.
Probably a year.
yes, it really
So-
has. Almost
Yeah.
all of the big projects that we hope to get into last spring and summer.
Yeah.
Once I got the notice in the middle of May,
Right.
life completely changed, and we're now getting into some of those things.
Yeah.
We even saw a drop in our viewership. We had anticipated over 1 million folks to watch us last year, and we
Yeah.
ended up with a 79% increase from the year before, which is still pretty
Sure.
darn good.
But it's not what you had anticipated.
Not what we had anticipated
Yeah.
based on the first couple of months of the year when we had no idea we would be moving
Right.
and packing up and
Yeah.
all the things that
That's
go with it.
one of the things that we work a lot with our
Yes.
clients is just avoid business disruption, plan it out,
Yeah.
predict, make sure that the forethought has gone in, because what you experienced was a loss of focus.
Yeah.
And the cost was heavy.
Yes, it was in a lot of ways. Not so much in the dollars, but in a
Sure.
lot of
Just
ways.
momentum.
And sales and everything. Yes,
Yeah, momentum.
Yeah. It's But I go back, and the nice thing is that here is we've just built a really good team, from the tech folks to the sales folks to our station manager to everybody. And being in an actual TV studio as we are now is kind of fun. Tell me more about your company and what else you do.
So we've got a strong cybersecurity background.
Okay.
And a lot of it has to do with...
It's pretty important today, isn't it?
It's so important, and it deals with business disruption.
Yeah.
And what we try to do, you mentioned moving. For a lot of small businesses, lots of hats are being worn by lots of people. And what we find is that cybersecurity is one of those things we kind of push off until it happens to us, and then it stops. The flow of business
Everything
literally stops, and it's so inconvenient. And the stats are that 50% of small businesses that have a network intrusion don't recover financially.
Oh, wow.
They just close their doors eventually.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's unacceptable to us. We work with...
Especially when it's
it's really
that kills
terrible.
you.
It's terrible, especially when the stats are interesting. The evidence behind it is that there are so many ways to get attacked.
Right.
But really, about 95% of all network intrusions happen because of weak passwords and email hygiene.
Yeah.
And so we spend a lot of our energy focusing on those two things. We train, we simulate phishing attacks, we provide all the mechanical responses that we can do. But, but the whole idea is that we just try to avoid business disruption.
Yeah, because for a small business, I mean, it's hand to mouth every single hour.
You cannot afford to be down for 30 days.
I found in talking with small business people over the last 6 or 8 months, as I've been looking for guests and so forth, the two issues is finding and keeping good employees and cash flow.
That,
those right there at the top?
You really just nailed it.
Yeah. So the third issue bounces around based on what their service or product is, but
focus we call it.
Yeah. The reality is that's what kills the businesses. And today, with hard to find employees and so forth, it's a challenge every day.
Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah. All right. How can people get in touch with you and your company for help?
Just on the internet is probably the best way. We're heavy
Welcome to today, right?
Yeah. So www.ptech3.com.
ptech.com.
Ptech3.com.
Yeah. Okay. Because those are your main mission and goals.
Yep. And we're heavy on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
So.
Are you having fun?
You know, I really am. Yeah, it's funny. It's we're 18 years in now. I get the most fun when I'm working with places like the Vanessa B. Hand.
Yes.
Or I'm helping a small business owner work through something. To me, that's really rewarding. But I still love the game of business. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're doing good work.
Oh, thank you.
You've picked a couple of great organizations to support.
Yeah, we love those
guys. Good people. And so give this guy a call or email him, and maybe he can help your business. Hey, thanks. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Wil.
Ken.
Okay. Thanks for watching The Pulse today. See you next time right here.